Hey friends, good morning. Derek from Bomb Socks with more Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ and we do it one bite at a time. So section 82 is an awesome section, one of my favorite sections. In fact, we are going to more or less spend the rest of the week in section 82 with 4 really solid principles that I think will bless people's lives. So starting off, I want to introduce you, and I've told my students this before, introduce you to a scripture hero of mine. It is Spider-Man. Okay? And you're probably like, awesome, Spider-Man in the scriptures. I must have missed that day in seminary, right? Well, the reason I bring that up to you is because Spider-Man has his own verse of scripture. Yes, it is in fact a Spider-Verse, if you will. So just a little context for you, there's this thing called the United Firm, which back in section 78 was brought up. And the United Firm, again, just a reminder, it's also known as the United Order. It's a business management company established by Joseph that oversaw both the church's economic pursuits, such as maintaining properties, some spiritual matters, such as publishing revelations, and planning out the city of Zion. So keeping in mind the purposes of the United Firm, what was the purpose of the United Firm? I'll give you one guess. It is to unite the members of the church. That's what it's all about. Now, back to this idea of the Spider-Verse. Let me read to you verses 1 and 2. So verse 1, Verily, verily, I say unto you, my servants, that inasmuch as you have forgiven one another your trespasses, even so I, the Lord, forgive you. Nevertheless, there are those among you who have sinned exceedingly. Yea, even all of you have sinned. Nice little reminder, right? For verily, I say unto you, beware from henceforth and refrain from sin, lest sore judgments fall upon your heads. So the question is, what is the biggest sin that keeps a group of people from being united? Well, you know what comes after verse 2. You have the Spider-Verse. Okay, now you're familiar with Spider-Man's great statement, with great power comes great responsibility. Well, you go to verse number 3 and it says, for unto him whom much is given, much is required. And he who sins against the greater light shall receive the greater condemnation. So really the idea is when we have been given a lot, there is a lot expected of us. In fact, Brigham Young said this. He said, the more we are blessed with means, the more we are blessed with responsibility. So this great quote surrounding Spider-Man actually started way back in the scriptures, and it's an eternal principle. Where you have been given a great deal of things, it is expected of you to be able to share those things. In fact, what is our great responsibility when we have been given much? Now, many of you are probably thinking, oh, I wish there was a hymn written about that. Well, you go to hymn number 219, which is actually, you can't do it in your gospel library app because there's some copyright to this, so the church doesn't own the copyright to this. So you may have to pull out a good old-fashioned hymn book, or you might even be able to Google search it. But you go to hymn number 219, which is called Because I Have Been Given Much. It's a great hymn. So take a moment and just read through the words of hymn number 219. What words or phrases do you think will help us want to be more giving in our lives? So take a few minutes, just look through this, and I'll talk about a couple after. Okay, so there's some great stuff with this hymn. Let me take you over to one of my favorite verses, which is verse number 3, where it says, because I have been blessed by thy great love, dear Lord, I'll share thy love again according to thy word, which again, that verse number 3 is kind of part of that. I shall give love to those in need. I'll show that love by word and deed. Thus shall my thanks be thanks indeed. One of the greatest ways you can show gratitude to the Lord is serving his children. So I love that idea of just that where much is given, much is required, where you have been given great blessings. It's our responsibility to be able to bless other people's lives with them. So take the time to be able to do that, and I know we will be blessed as we take the time to be able to help other people out. It's a great verse, and that's just one verse right there in section 82. There is more coming tomorrow. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for sharing. Godspeed. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.